Alrighty, guys. I really appreciate your joining me online for the first episode of the Richie English podcast. Yes, it is here. I've been thinking about it a long time, planning, but some things just kept happening and we're only able to start it now, but I'm super happy. We're going to keep things real. We're going to keep things raw in here because free form of expression is what I aim to do and teach you simultaneously. I'm obviously starting this channel with a dual goal in mind. First of all, I want to help the English learners out there who've been in contact with me over YouTube or private lessons with quality listening practice, because I'm a non-native speaker of this language as well. And I managed to pull myself out of that language crisis that I've faced. And I know many of you face that as well. This overwhelming amount of resources that we have around us in today's time, that's not helping. So I want you to be focused on your goal and try to be as expressive as possible because that is what it takes. And obviously, I want to establish myself on YouTube. That would be the secondary goal. But I don't want you to think that the fact that I want to make videos on YouTube is going to be second to the fact that I want to help you with your listening practice and to, keep you current on stuff that's happening around. The fact that I want to make videos and be a YouTuber would be a byproduct to the fact that I want to help you. And if you want to join me in this, you have an open opportunity. All you have to do is go into the comment sections and let me know what you think about any of the thoughts that I share, any of the issues that I discuss on my channel. And don't forget to drop your email address. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we're going to have a one-on-one conversation about stuff that really matters. So for the first episode, I want to talk about something that is very close to my heart. And I have some stake in this conversation. I want to talk about Gen Z. And if the Gen Z are algorithm babies. Yes, this is what I like to call them, algorithm babies. I am a Gen Z, and I know how it is. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background here. So I spent my peak formative years in lockdown, quarantined in home, with zero opportunity to socialize, to learn people skills. And it was very bad. It was miserable. But at that time, people like me, they didn't realize that they were shifting their focus from socializing to something else, being terminally online. And I tell you something, at that time when we were not allowed to go to school, we were not allowed to meet people, we were not allowed to do anything outside because of valid reasons, we just found a second home, almost our solace, on the internet. And my screen time at that time went through the roof, 13 hours, 14 hours a day. And I always felt like I could have done something more. You know what I'm saying? I never had enough of my screen time. And even my parents, they didn't think about it. And the fact that everybody else was so depressed and struggling with problems made it even worse for the Gen Z, not better, obviously. I couldn't attend the prom, we call it the farewell party in India, which was the final year of my school, and it takes place at the end of the final year of school. We did not have a celebration like that. We arranged something small outside just to, greet and meet each other for the final time. I never saw many of those people that I was so deeply connected with in school. I never saw some of my teachers because most tragically they passed. And all of this, in dealing with all of these, the Gen Z, they just forgot about the importance of socializing, of building real relationships, in-person meetings, and social anxiety. Social anxiety just creeped in. It crept into all of our lives. And the worst hit, inarguably, are the Gen Z. The social anxiety just became a household topic, something that everybody was suffering from, and even myself. And you know what I like to call myself, like some of my other friends and a lot of other people that I do not know personally, a private person. I would call myself a private person. And I'd say, it's my choice to not socialize, to not go out there and talk to people and, meet and greet. It's just not my style. And then I was terminally online. You see that paradox here? I'm a private person. It's my choice not to socialize. This is the lie that I told myself and to the rest of the world, that I like to keep to myself. I love staying at home. It is so amazing. I'm a houseplant and I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I, along with my other Gen Z friends, extended friends, we just forgot that there is a life outside the algorithms. And we did become the algorithm babies. All of the information that we know, people in my generation, 90%, if we can do some solid numbering here, I'm not saying 100%, close to 90% information came from what the algorithm fed us. And all of us were in the same situation. Most of my friends went out of the city to continue their studies for graduation, to be specific. I did not. I stayed back. And it was even hard for me because I wouldn't say it was harder for me because they went to these other cities where they barely knew anybody. Everything was new for them. And then they had to stay in their dorm rooms and apartments. They were confined to those spaces, and I was confined to my own home. And not just social anxiety, but also the undercurrent of depression and distraction. We're all always distracted in today's time. Like I said, we spent our peak formative years not socializing and then ultimately forgetting about it, right? And just being fed by the algorithm, being raised by the algorithm in a way. And now distraction is easier than concentration, more than ever. I know how it is. Every 5 minutes, I'm talking about Gen Z specifically, we have an extreme urge to check our phone or notification because that is our home. Real relationships, real people, real conversations, that's not our thing anymore. It is social media. It is the online life. And you know what? When you feel this extreme urge to check your phone for notification, email, or any kind of update, I want to ask you a question. How many times have you felt you did the right thing? That you really got some important news, that you were really needed by somebody, you were required at a place. And if you had not checked your WhatsApp at that time, you would have missed it. How many times out of 10? In my case, it is, I guess, 1, maybe 0. Yes, I'm an English teacher, like I said. I get student emails and messages all the time, but I want to do it properly. I want to listen to that person, and I can only do it when I'm in the right space of mind, when I'm doing it in its own time. And like I said, it's most of the things that we are so worried about are not urgently important. But we don't realize it because the internet, even though we're private people, Gen Z, we're private people, yeah? That's why we do not, make our Instagram profiles public or post on YouTube because we're private people. But then we are always online. We're super online. And we want to know what's happening all around because we crave socializing. And social media and this trend of distraction and just wanting to do something all the time, that is a kind of drug. Like any other drug. If you stay away from it for too long, it would call you. It is going to pull you. And the internet, the algorithm, also does that. Since I'm talking about it, again, of course, the question comes back to me. Am I aware? Am I winning this battle against distraction and desocialization yet? I'm not sure about that. I'll be honest. I still tend to check my phone way too often. It's not needed at all. I still sometimes try to rush real conversations because, I need to go grab my phone. I do that. But I'm aware of it. And I know I'll win this battle because I'm trying constantly. And from my experience and from the studies that I've read on the impact of quarantine on Gen Z, I can tell you one thing. Being super online is not adding value to your life. It is not. And even though posting on YouTube, talking to people publicly, real engagement, this is real engagement, can be a substitute to in-person socializing to an extent. Being a private person online and just looking at everything that's happening, wanting to be current, that is not the real engagement or a substitute to in-person socializing. I want to call for everybody listening to this to normalize socializing again. And we're going to have a normal functioning brain with high powers of concentration. Because right now, our concentration levels are literally on the floor. That's where it is. 1 to 2 minutes max to max. And nobody wants that. We know about it, but then we go take the drug, use our phone for 2-3 hours, and that calms us. It does. But what's next? It makes it even worse.